Hello, everyone. Welcome to the High Vibe Tribe monthly video book reviews. And every month I bring together some members of the Mind, Body, Spirit Network, our experts in mind, body, spirit, health realm. And I invite them to bring some of their favorite reads. And we're hoping that you listeners out there have some great references to start building your own self-help or spiritual library. So today, there's just two of us today. Everyone else is kind of busy, so that's fine. We'll keep it short and sweet. Liz Bigger is going to start. And Liz, why don't you just give us a quick intro of you and what you do, and then tell us about your book review today.
Sure. I'd love to. I'm Liz Bigger, and I'm the owner of Butterfly Healing and Wellness in Stafford, Virginia. I am an intuitive holistic healer, and I use Reiki and aromatherapy, crystals, and other healing modalities to help my clients heal to the point where anything is possible. Today, the book that I chose is called Meditation as Medicine, and I read all mine on the Kindle, so I had to Google this so you could see the actual cover, because the cover in my Kindle is not very pretty. But this book was very revolutionary for me. I knew that meditation was healing, but I had no idea how healing it can be. So it was written by, and I'm probably going to mess this up, but Dharma Singh Khalsa, and he's a medical doctor, and Cameron Stoth. So basically, it's all about activating the natural healing of your own life force, of your own body. So, and he says in the foreword that it was written to help you develop a very high level of physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health, and also to help heal from illness. So in the prologue, it has, I think I have that here. Anyway, so like in the prologue, it talks about, what I really like about this book, it's kind of a mixture between like things as the spiritual side as well as like the medical side. So as it's talking about, it talks about the different types of meditation, and it talks about the actual physical benefits to the point of chemicals in your body, like certain meditation, like medical meditation helps you produce DHEA, which is actually a hormone regulator in your body. And that's one of the ones that they want you to take, like when your adrenal glands go down or your thyroid is out. So all the way down to that very medical level, it talks about how meditation can help you. And so that was eye-opening. What?
So Liz, there's like an actual medical meditation that they give you it's a type of meditation.
Yes, it's an actual medical meditation, and it's very specific. That's what I love about this book. It's very, very specific. So in the book, it actually talks about, hold on, I see, and I bookmarked it on my phone and not in here. Hopefully I didn't. There we go. That's why I was like looking to see if it was on my phone and not in there. So it actually talks about all the different things that medical meditation entails. So there's different types of meditation. It talks about just, the relaxation meditation. It talks about, and I'm not familiar with all of them. I was going to read it off of here, but all the different types of meditation there is, and they're all fairly healing. But medical meditation basically takes several different healing modalities and puts it all into one. So as you're meditating, you're also focusing on your breath. You're also doing mudras with your hands. I'm not if you're not familiar with mudras, but there's certain like ways you can hold your hands that can promote healing. It talks about chanting, kirtan. So you're basically chanting Sanskrit vowels, kind of like Om, those kinds of things. Part of it is also postures, body postures, a certain body, and that's the yoga portion of it. So it's just all these different things all rolled into a meditation. And so and he even in here specifically talks about different ailments that you might have, like the one that I was looking at earlier today. I was refamiliarizing myself with the book. The one I was looking at today is medical meditation for addiction. And I thought that was really interesting, because I know people who are in the throes of addiction. That's like really something that you would be interested in, trying to heal that part of you, because addiction is not only just the thing that you're addicted to and that behavior, it goes very deep. So if you're using all these different things in this medical meditation, you're healing all this different stuff in your energy body and in your physical body to let go of that addiction. So, and he's very, like I said, he has in here, he has the different chants you can use. He shows you the mudras. He shows you the body postures. Even so much as like when the chants, he has like musical notes so that you can know what it's supposed to sound like if you can read music.
Oh, cool. Wow.
Yeah, it's very, very specific.
And does he get into the chakras when there's a medical condition involved? Like, you know, you're dealing with this chakra?
He does.
Okay.
He does. In fact, the beginning, he's just introducing the meditation as medicine. And then he talks about the chakras. He talks about the nadis, which are actually the pathways of the energy. He talks about the tattvas, which is like the energy relationship between personality, emotions, and dysfunctions and those things. But after he does all that, he actually has a chapter on each chakra.
Oh, good.
Chakra and the ailments and how you can work on that with the medical meditation. And then he talks about all the different chakras. And it ends up with the crown chakra. So it helps you like, get all the way to the crown chakra.
So I just want to add to this, since we're in the middle of it, make it a nice conversation. We have covered, or I reviewed a book called Hand Mudras for Transformation. It'll be in our member curated Lighthouse Library online, you guys. If you're watching this, we have a Lighthouse Library of member curated books. And the hand mudra one, I'll be sure to put it up today because we're talking about it. But there's 108 mudras, like there's 108 beads on that japa. Is it japa beads they're called?
I think so. Yeah.
I
call meditation beads, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's like a rosary. In Christianity, it's like a rosary. So there's 108 of them. And there's interesting that there's 108 hand mudras. And this is a textbook for practitioners, really. And if you're really interested in self-healing and yoga and meditation, each of those hand mudras is really deep. Like, what chakra is it related to? What part of the body? It also identifies, I use it all the time if you're experiencing physical pain. I'm like, okay, what's going on there? I'll go in the book. I'll say, okay, this is what's going on. I'll do the mudras. That's just one resource that is related to what you're talking about here. And another one that I love is I'm a member of Gaia. Is it Gaia? Gaia. Gaia.com, which is the TV version of Gaiam. I'm pretty sure they're affiliated. So Gaia.com has a monthly subscription. It's like $10 a month to take, and I take my yoga classes because I can be in my bedroom and do my yoga, and I have all these great teachers from all over the world. But one of them is yoga for the chakras. So you're talking about movements that help the body, right? So Ashley Turner is a yoga instructor, and she happens to live part-time in Aspen, which is where I am. So I kind of have an affinity for her. But I started doing her yogas for the chakra, and it's so intentional. And like, if you have this type of issue, right, here's the posture to use to open up those chakras that affect the body. And I'm like, okay, I'm really starting to get, even though I've been doing this for a while, mind, body, spirit. The body is holding on to stuff that we don't think about, right, Liz? And it's like, all right, get the body moving out of this as well. So that sounds like he's putting a lot into one book.
He is, and that's what's so cool about it, in my opinion. See, like, so just like what you were just saying, I just locked myself back out. I was just going to show you, like, he gets so specific in here, talking about the different postures. Like when he's talking about an issue.
Oh, good.
Like, that's what I was going to say. This book, truly, like, I don't know if you're like, if you've never done anything, I don't know if you could like get on board with this, but if you have any kind of, involvement in this stuff before, like, you could use this for yourself. Like, if you got this book, you had an issue, it is so specific that, so just anyone off the street could get it, and they could incorporate the body postures, the chants, Om, Nam, all those, the mudras, so he shows you very specifically the mudras, and all for very specific ailments. So the cool thing for me is like just what you said. So me as a practitioner, as a healer, it helps me because it's so much information in one location. So if you are a healer, yeah, and you have a client and they have an issue and you've tried like all the things that you know to try and like they need more, it's all like right there. It can be, and this is another, see? So, and this is the next page. So it shows like the different, that's the chant with the note.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, so it's very, very specific, and it's just, and it's a big book. It's a pretty big book. But
would you say like it's a practitioner textbook, or could be?
Yes, it's almost like a reference book. It really is, and it's just that specific. Let me make sure I covered everything I was going to say. Oh, and the cool thing is, because everyone's into like the scientific research, because you know it's been shown that the stuff that they've been doing in the East has been for thousands of years. They're now getting scientific data behind why it works and how it works, that kind of thing. This book was written by a medical doctor, and so he really brings in the scientific data, and they've done studies on the benefits and what each one of these things actually does medically, scientifically for you as well. So if you have a client that's like, I don't understand, you can tell them, okay, well, this is what's going to do for you. You know,
here's the facts.
Yes,
here's the facts.
DHEA. It's going to help you, you know, relax. It's going to help, you know, and it very medically tells you all those things.
So I had a thought. Since you're a Reiki practitioner, you do energy healing and stuff, I wonder how it would be for people to hold the hand mudras for while you're doing the work.
Absolutely. You know, and I do that. And I think, and I'm not the only one, like even my spiritual lead, my spiritual advisor, who's the one that turned me on to this, he's also a shaman.
Okay.
So Reiki is a very susceptible to, you know, adding whatever, you know, like angel therapy, you know, the mudras would be very helpful. The mind is a very powerful organ. So we really try to set intentions before we start Reiki. If someone really wants to work on something, you know, we put an affirmation or an intention in our mind as we're doing the work.
Nice.
So yeah, they all work really well together. All of them.
Cool. All right. Well, I want to share a hand mudra that's because it's kind of related to my book that's coming up. So this, everybody, is a hand mudra. It's a common one, but it's incredibly powerful on the map of consciousness, which I talk about a lot. And I just put my hands together right now and I immediately start to feel it. I don't know if you do too, Liz, but the intention of this calibrates, which I'm not going to go into what it means, 540 on the map of consciousness, which is huge. Most of humanity calibrate, you know, the planet calibrates at 207. So to hold this, you're making a quantum leap in power for yourself and intention and bringing in. So that's a simple one that everyone knows right there. This is a common one right here. This is Chin Mudra, I think. Chin Mudra. Depends on how you hold it. So that's what mudras are. And there's 108 of them. One other question. Is that author an Ayurvedic practitioner as well? Do you know? He looks like
he is. I want to say yes, but I would have to go back and read his bio again because that's not sticking in my mind. But he is of Indian descent, so I think he did start in some Ayurveda. And then
I would think so. That's a more holistic approach to everything, and you know, makes more sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I gotta say, and I don't remember the name, and that's the thing. Like, I didn't memorize this book, but one of the mudras that I like to use is this one. Like when I'm having a hard time breathing and I catch myself holding my breath.
Yeah.
This is my favorite mudras. But somehow, and it says it in the book why and how it works and what it's called, but this one really helps me get my breath all the way down to my diaphragm. It really helps me do the deeper breathing instead of just the shallow breathing.
This is the one you're doing?
Yeah, just like that.
I'll look it up, see what it is.
Yeah. Well, feel in your body right now. Do you feel like maybe your breath is able to go a little deeper?
I don't know. I'm a shallow breather, but
yeah, somehow it just opens up. It makes the ability just that much easier. Like when I'm going to meditate, I need that deep breathing, and so that really helps me. So yeah, it's just such an interesting book, and
show it again one more time, Liz, before we start.
Yeah,
please. I'll put the name of it on the screen too with the author's name because it's a little hard to read, but I'll type it in so everyone can find it. And you'll be able to find this in our Lighthouse library of member curated books. You'll find it there as well. You can buy it from us and see this review again.
Meditation.
Perfect. Activate the power of your true nature. We like to do that. All right, I want to share one more mudra. This. I've been doing this forever, and I didn't know it was a mudra. This one balances all the chakras. And I've been doing it for forever before I even knew what mudra was. I'm like, geez, I intuitively knew what I needed. My body knew what it needed. So this is a good catch-all. All fingers together.
Yeah, I wanted to say a couple more things too, based on what you just said. So that is the thing that I've noticed is the things when I read books like this, like the things that I really need are the things that stick. So like I said, you know, like the one that I really needed and the one that really works is the one I can remember. Like, but it's a reference material. Like we were talking about, you can always go back and reference it. You don't have to memorize the whole thing. The other thing I was going to say is I love Gaia.com also. I am also a member.
Oh, good.
And I don't do yoga. Yeah, it's wonderful. I don't do the yoga. What I do is, especially when I started my spiritual journey, I really didn't know what all was out there. You know, I was just thirsty and hungry for like all these, for healing modalities, for things to help me find my purpose and heal myself. And they have a lot of people on there that interview. There's a lot of different shows that interview people. In all different types of healing modalities. You know, there was one, she was a singer and she heals with her voice.
Oh.
And I didn't know that was a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I just like to watch those little interviews, and that's kind of how I get led in my spiritual journey. Like I watch the interview, and if it's something that appeals to me, I try it out, and if it sticks, you know, it's for me. And then I, you know, learn how to do it, and I incorporate it in my healing practice. If it's not, then it's not for me, and I just say, oh, well, that was interesting, and I move on to the next thing. So that really helps me get led on my spiritual journey. So if you're looking for a resource of, you know, because going to the bookstore can be overwhelming. You know, I can remember I could stand in the bookstore looking at all the books going, I don't know what I want to read, you know. But this is a way to get like a little taste of each modality.
Yeah.
And choose what's good for you.
Yeah. Yeah, they have good programs on Gaia.com. I've listened to Greg Braden. Do you know who he is? He's more of the physical type of scientist guy, but he's still in this realm that we're talking about.
Right.
And I watched some doctor, I forget his name now, but he wrote the emotional code, the emotional
code. Yes.
Good.
I forgot his name too,
and on Gaia, I think it's on Gaia, he shows you how to muscle test on your own. It was really a good method. It's enjoyable.
Yeah.
All right. So Gaia.com, I recommend that. And I was just going to make another recommendation. Shoot. I forget what I was going to talk about. Oh, well. We'll share that. So all right, I'm going to share my book. So my name is Liz Garcia. I'm host of the High Vibe Tribe monthly book reviews and all other kinds of things. I know what I was going to share. There's a new Shift Network event that's coming up with a woman, Eileen McCusick, who is a sound healer. Sound therapy with tuning forks.
Yes, I just got into that. I read her book, and
you read her book?
So healing. She's amazing.
Have you had a tuning fork therapy done on you before?
I have never. I got my forks, and I just intuitively started. That's what she did. She's very intuitive. That's how she started, and she just like knew it's like what to do and how to do it, and that's what I'm doing. I got mine, and it's just very
you got tuning forks.
I did.
All right, this is a whole other topic, you guys.
Yeah, that's a whole other topic. But
I had
watch Eileen McCusick, McCusick. Yeah.
McCusick, yeah. She's coming up next tomorrow, actually, which you guys will miss. But you can still come to the website, and you can still connect with her through the Mind, Body, Spirit. You can just look her up online too. But I have, I met a 30-year SWAT team police guy I think he was from Berkeley, California, who became a tuning fork therapist. because he helped people, police officers. He had PTSD, working in SWAT is stressful. And it's funny that this tough, 30-year cop is a tuning fork therapist now. And I had a treatment with him that was amazing. So I don't know how she's going to do tuning fork therapy on internet, but it'll be interesting to see what she does. So that's coming up tomorrow is her recording, Liz, if you want to check that out, her live event. You can, and I'd like to check her out too. I tried to get an interview with her, but she didn't respond, so she might be busy. Or she was on sabbatical, I forget. Someone was on sabbatical. All right, anyway, sound healing. Gong, have you ever had a gong bath? Killer. And
I've had a sound bath.
A sound bath too?
Yes.
Like with what? Singing bowls?
Sound bath. There's a gentleman in my area. His name is Mark Torgeson. He has a YouTube channel and he is amazing. He does so many instruments, everything from the didgeridoo to the gong, to the Tibetan singing bowls, crystal bowls.
He does it live?
Flute. He has 10 kinds of flutes, 10 different kinds of drums. I mean, and then you just lay and he just it's very flowing and he just bathes you in the healing sound.
And you did that live, right, Liz?
It's live.
Yeah, live is kind of makes a difference.
You walk out of there and I feel like I can float. It's
good stuff. So anyone listening, if you have the opportunity to go to any type of sound healing event, a gong bath. I mean, I did a gong bath in Aspen in this amazing space. Holy moly. All right. Sound healing. That's a thing. And it's a good thing. I'm so excited to hear that you've read her book. So I'm going to have to check it out then.
Yes, definitely. I want to check her special out too.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. So I'm going to share my book. All right. Back to who I am. I'm Liz Garcia. I'm founder of the Mind, Body, Spirit Network. I'm their editor-in-chief and your host for our soon-to-launch podcast, Lizzie, just so you know. It's coming in the next week or two, launching our podcast so we can have these fun conversations about healing modalities. This is really what I want these book reviews to turn into, is talk about all this other stuff too. All right, so today I'm sharing the book of slides, and you can read that. It's backwards to me, so I can't.
Oh, absolutely.
So Dr. David R. Hawkins is one of the teachers I aspire to, I learned from. He's amazing psychiatrist, doctor, spiritual leader, enlightened human being. And you may say, well, what's enlightened? I'm like, well, I understand what enlightened, I have had enlightened states. So that's kind of how I was brought to him, thank God, because I needed the help on it. But he speaks of higher truths and higher understandings. And he spent his lifetime researching where truth exists in consciousness, what is really true. And there's truth at different levels. Wherever level you're at is totally fine, but you're going to perceive things differently as you go up to the, as you raise your vibration, your perceptions change, and they tend to get lighter and loving and happy and healthy. And so he studied that for decades, and he passed, I think it's been, 7 or 8 years now he passed, and he was in his 80s. But he's hysterical, and I love him. And his students compiled this book of slides, and it's based on all of his lectures that he's done throughout the world. I mean, he's gone all over the world teaching his map of consciousness and understanding where truth exists. So this is fun for people that know Dr. Hawkins. And if you Google Dr. David Hawkins on YouTube, you can listen in on him, because he's just matter of fact, hysterical, and he's like just speaking the truth. That's all he cares about. And when you get into higher levels of consciousness, stuff doesn't matter anymore. Like, you don't need a position on anything. You're truly compassionate about the human condition. You get it. You're totally forgiving. It's like it's a non-issue. There's no one to forgive. You get it. And love is the truth. And that's fun to know when you put everything into context. So I'm just going to share. It's pretty simply read. So here's a page that is just showing, whoops, one of his slides. And then here, the students, the people that compiled this for him, because he passed, just kind of detail what the lecture was about, what was he trying to say. And this is actually a good slide. I'm going to share it. So everything that Dr. Hawkins does is based on a level of consciousness. And the map of consciousness goes from 0 to 1,000. And it's quantum in nature and logarithmic. So 100 on the map of consciousness is 10 to the 100th power. 200 is 10 to the 200th power. And if you know logarithms, the higher you get, the more quantum in nature it becomes. Like 1 point becomes a light year. You know, I haven't done the math. I've got to figure out the math of that, Liz, because I'm like, what's 1 point? When you get up here, just 1 point, is that like a light year? How do I graphically show that? Because it's not like, you know, one step. It's a giant leap.
Exponential. Yeah.
It's exponential. And even Dr. Hawkins said that most of us stay within 5 points on the map of consciousness in our lives, which sounds kind of, oh, that's not great. But you have to understand that he said 1/10 of 1 point on the map can be life-changing, depending on where you are, right? In the lower realms, it won't be as big as a move as when you get up here and you make a leap. It's like life-changing. So even 1/10 is huge. So I'm just going to share this one slide. And all of these are like short little pieces so you can get to know what Hawkins is talking about and put into context where true power exists. So I don't know if I want to share this one because I don't want anyone to get disappointed.
I wanted to share a little something that happened to me Sunday. I had a group of ladies over to my house, and so you were talking about being in a higher consciousness and then finding truth in that higher consciousness. And I think this correlates to this experience. So I said to a woman, like we were in a very safe space and we were talking very honestly, and I said something to one of the women, and I talked to her again today, and she said, well, you said this. And I thought, oh, because in that safe space, it didn't seem like I said that, but I guess that's what I had said. And it was true. It was not nice, but it was true. And I said, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I said that. I hope I didn't hurt your feelings. And she said, no. She said, I was in a place to hear the truth.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, thank goodness, you know. But, you know, when we get to that higher consciousness and when we get to a safe space, we can speak truth without getting offended, without getting defensive, without, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I think David Hawkins is trying to get to.
Totally. Well, you know, what's interesting is when you say it like from the truth, the other person can't help but like feel it. Like, oh, okay, yes. Like I've had that many times when someone said something to me, I felt the truth of it, like just come in. I'm like, there's no response. Like, I got it. I heard that, you know, which is great. And you just got to go with it, Liz. I trust you are going to speak the truth.
And that was the thing. Like we were in a very safe, trusting space. And I think when we get to that space and we're at that kind of consciousness, I think that's when we can hear truth.
Yeah. Yep.
Accept truth.
I think at any level you can hear it because it's so powerful. When you understand the map, when you're speaking truth at a high power, it shuts down. It doesn't hold a candle to what the other person may believe because it's not true. It's like possibly. I don't know. I haven't tested that.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to share this one slide.
The lights come on.
Yeah.
There's no more darkness. Yeah.
Right. All right. I'm going to share this one slide because it's kind of interesting. So the name of the slide is, what is the world? What is it? I mean, this is a lot of everyone, all of us are like, what are we here? You know, what's going on here? Many people can feel that way. So what Dr. Hawkins does is when he tests for the level of truth of anything, he creates a statement, not a question. You got to pose it as a statement, and then the testing will say, yes, it's true. No, it's not true. And then you can test at what level is it true. So this statement, being born a human is rare, fortunate, and the consequence of good karma. That calibrates it as true at 455, which is extremely high And we should all be grateful that that's the truth. Whether you're experiencing a good life or not, that is true. It's a consequence of good karma to be here. So, woohoo for everybody. Whatever part you're playing in the world, woohoo, thank you for playing your part. Everyone's got to play their part. And people at the lower end have said, you know, I don't know if you've read Conversations with God, but, or is it The Little Prince? God's like, you know, I'm going to show up for you and show you what it looks like to be mean, right? I think it's The Little Prince said that. Or the candle, there's a candle, it's like, I don't know what it would feel like to have someone be mean to me. I'm like, well, I'll show up and show you. Very innocently. It's like, you know, who else is going to show you that? Really, you know, you want to see the contrast, maybe not high contrast, but that's what it's there for, to experience it and see it.
Well, and that reminds me of soul contracts.
Oh.
You know, like we agree.
Right.
And like before we incarnate on this earth,
right.
You know, according to Carolyn Mace, we agree to show up in each other's lives and teach each other our soul lessons.
Yeah.
So like if you're going through something, it could be that you're learning a soul lesson, and it doesn't mean that you're unlucky or, you know, you have bad karma. It just means that your soul needs to learn this lesson.
Right. You know, I hear stuff, I'm clairaudient. So while I was pondering situations I didn't like or relationships that I wish had gone further, I heard, I came here to be this for you. I didn't come here to do that. I came here to do what I did. I heard it loud and clear, like the truth thing we're just talking about. I'm like, Roger that, I got it. and I had this other spiritual medium I worked with who said, when your spirit wants to speak to you, it comes from the throat, which I'd never heard that before. I didn't know. But I had a situation, you know, I went through some trying times that were not pleasant. And I was really struggling. And I heard loud and clear come out of my throat. And I heard, and I'm like, very loud, this situation you're thinking about nonstop was soul purpose. Soul purpose. I'm like, got it. Move on. That's what Spirit was saying. Move on. You can't understand. Like, I got it. We have no capacity to really understand the vastness of who we are. And so anyway.
It is. That's why I love having these communications with people like this. And then, you know, I get together with other people to talk about these kinds of things. And I'm always surprised, like you said, it comes from here. But yeah. I will say something and it will be so true for me. And I'll be like,
I said that.
I'm like, okay, I got to write that, you know, that's important. I got to write that down, you know, and that's where it does. It absolutely comes from my throat or someone else's throat. Sometimes I'll hear someone else will say something and I'll just cut right in and be like, oh, that is true. Yeah.
So that's the throat chakra is speaking the truth, right, Liz? Chakra expert to the stars.
Absolutely. Yeah, if it's healthy, you know, sometimes if you have a block or you have something going on there, like you either won't speak your truth, you'll hold it in, or you'll be speaking someone else's truth. I run into that a lot too.
Oh.
People who are not clear about themselves and, you know, they're, you know, stuck in some old programming or whatever. They're speaking and they think it's their truth, but they're really speaking someone else's truth. And that creates like an unhealthy energy flow through their throat chakra. So yeah.
Laryngitis would be a sure sign that something's going on there. Right. All right. Let's just read two more and then we'll cut everyone loose. But this will be a good podcast episode. A little chit chat about all these things.
Absolutely.
Okay. Here's another one. This statement. The world is a trap of illusion. Therefore, salvation depends on non-attachment to its linear and emotional qualities. This calibrates it as true at 230, which is still true. Anything over 200, you want to pay attention to. It's constructive and helpful. So the lower self wants to hold on to emotional negativity, blame, shame, resentment.
Can you say that one more time?
Yes. The world is a trap of illusion. Therefore, salvation depends on non-attachment to its linear and emotional qualities.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
In other words, let go of negativity. Because that's all that negatively oriented stuff is an illusion, because it's not the truth of any of us, which takes time to get, especially if you're used to living blaming, shame in the human condition. And it's the human condition. You don't know any better. We don't know any better that holding on to grudges and resentments and anger and stuff is not where it's at. So that's a good one, and it's powerful at 2:30, that statement. And here's the last one on this slide. These are just good to know. So 2:30 for this statement and 4:55 for the other one. The other one is a light years in power, in truth, to get. And that was a good one to stay focused on, even though some people may not like the sound of this other one. Depends on where you're at, how you perceive things. You could feel like a victim. And if you feel like a victim from that statement, you got to let go of some negativity, and the victimhood will go. And it'll feel good. You'll feel better when you let go of any type of positionality, or everything below 200 is victim land of the victims. And you got to make fun of it, because it's a human condition. Don't blame yourself. It just is what it is. All right, here's the last statement, then we're going to cut everyone loose. The perceived world is the result of the projection of human consciousness, and therefore akin to a Rorschach card. You know what a Rorschach card is, right, Liz? Like it's an ink blot. You put ink on a paper, you fold it in half. What does it look like?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's a projection of human consciousness. So as a collective, we're operating on this planet at 207, thank God. We're above 200. We jumped above 200. We were below 200 forever until we jumped in, I think it was 1986, made a quantum leap above 200. And if we continued it, the planet continued at below 200, we could easily kill ourselves because it's destructive. But now that we're above it, Dr. Hawkins is like, you know what? We're in good shape to be above 200. We're at 207. I have a vision to teach this stuff more and elevate the level of consciousness of the planet to 250. And the reason that is kind of it's neutral. It's like a healthy body. It's neutral. And to go from 207 to 250 is a quantum leap, and I need everyone's help to do it. And when I start teaching this, I'm going to give you ideas on how you can do it. And the higher you are in consciousness, the more you can offset the negativity. So people that are of higher consciousness are in a better position to offset the negativity in a very big way because of that. The higher you go, the more powerful you get for every little step you make. I can't do it myself. Well, maybe I could. I don't think so. I'd have to be Christ level. Christ level offsets negativity. I don't know if it would shift the calibration. I'm not sure, but we all have to, together we have to do it. 250 is my goal. That's a quantum leap from 200.
Well, that's just actually something that I strive in my Reiki practice also. Because Reiki, I haven't seen where it calibrates on the Reiki.
Reiki's in the 300s. It's high.
Yeah, so it's like if you receive Reiki, yes, or even sometimes if you're just willing to receive Reiki,
yes,
it raises your level, your vibration up higher.
This is good. All right, this is good, Liz. All right, willingness is a process of, it's 310 on the map of consciousness, which is huge. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you guys, willingness is huge. And if you're willing to receive Reiki, it's even better because Reiki is higher than 310. I think Reiki, geez, it might be, I have to look it up, Liz, but energy healing, like acupuncture is in the 400s, which is an energy medicine, you know, it's huge. Reiki, maybe 390, 335, I don't know. Anything over 300 is good stuff. You want to do it. But that's the problem with some of these alternative modalities is people are skeptical, non-believers. Skepticism is below 200. It's negatively oriented. You're not going to get any benefit from it because you're not letting it in. It's like, okay. So you got to open yourself up And this is where I think the map of understanding the context of where stuff is, you can start opening up and say, okay, there's some scientific proof as to where true power is and where true healing happens. So one thing that Dr. Hawkins talks about is how to know a true healer. And a really powerful healer is in the 500s, which is love. There's love in there. And this is this. If you do nothing else while you're doing your healing, to hold this mudra while you're doing healing, pretty powerful.
Actually,
really powerful. 540, right?
When you begin Reiki, that's Gato.
Start with that? Oh, nice.
It's a meditation. This is where you start here, and that's okay. That's part of Reiki. It's also part of yoga. I mean, yeah. It's a very high vibration, powerful mudra. Mm-hmm.
And Om, while we're on it, the chanting of Om is 730. That's huge. I mean, human consciousness is 200. To leap to 700 is a good idea. I mean, to help yourself, Om is a huge chant. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti is like 600s.
And that's why, everything in this book, I was talking about the medical meditation as medicine, like everything in here is like such high vibration. And I picture that as consciousness too. I figure
it is.
When you raise your consciousness, I picture it as raising vibration. And it's,
it is what it is. Yeah.
That's where your body can heal. When you raise it up to at least, I would say love, at least.
Love.
Absolutely.
Totally.
That's a good place for your body to be so you can heal.
Definitely. You got to love your body. That mind saying you don't like it is not ideal. All right.
And I wanted to say one other thing about the linear thing before we close.
Yeah,
that reminded me of, that's one of the things that I've learned in my journey is time and space are actually an illusion. And we do that linear thinking. That's when we're like projecting into the future or we're ruminating in the past. And that's where, Eckhart Tolle is like power now.
Yeah.
If you say right here, you're not in that linear stuff. And when I stopped using clocks, like I just get a feeling like, okay, it's time to go get a shower. And I go get a shower. Okay, it's time to get in my car. And I go get in my car. If I look at my clock, because it's an illusion. If I look at the clock, I'll be like, oh no, I got 10 more minutes and I'll be late. I'll get in traffic jam. Something will happen. If I just go with the flow, my intuition tells me what to do and I do it, I'm always on time. Even if, logistically I should be late. Yeah. I get there right on time. It's almost like time is spent for me. Yeah. When I'm in that flow. So I have to stay out of that linear illusion. Yes. So,
cool. And I don't think I tell you the calibration of that last one, the perceived world is the result of projection, calibrates at 450. So very powerfully true. It's all good stuff. And if you're perceiving anything negatively, you got to let go of negativity and your perceptions will change. Just so you know, I've had this experience. I've had a lot to be negative about, and I've had a lot of negativity in my thinking and beliefs because I didn't know any better. And I've seen a major shift by letting go of negativity, which takes practice and awareness. So,
well, I just want to say, it's easy to say let go of negativity, and I've learned with my clients and a lot of people, and myself is included, it's easy to say I'm going to let go of negativity. Oh, yeah. Actually letting go is a little harder. And that's what's so wonderful about the Mind Body Spirit Network, because all of that healing that is available there. I know Reiki does it. I know, a lot of the modalities I do. I know the other healers on there. That is a wonderful way to shift. Yeah. So you can shift out of negativity and let go of negativity. Yeah.
And on that topic, I'm going to create a class on letting go. Because, Dr. Hawkins has his book about letting go, which is awesome. That's what I've learned from. But not everyone gets it. And even I do a lot of this inner work. It's like, am I doing it? Am I getting it? And sometimes I don't feel, I'm going to share my experience. Like there's what's, I'm going to share it in the class so you can come back to it and be reassured you're making progress. I've made huge progress, I can tell.
And as an energy healer, that's what I'm talking about. Like sometimes we can't do it up here. Like there's something that needs to be shifted or moved out or cleared before we can get there. Yeah.
All right, so I want to plug Liz Bigger because she's an incredible healer. I've had some sessions with Liz. Super healing coming through for me. I felt it. And some things more like your chakra readings for me were very healing. I could feel it. And if you haven't had a chakra reading, Liz can see what's going on in the chakras. And I felt she was dead on. I get it. She can see what's going on. She can interpret what it's showing. And it's really valuable to know so that you have somewhere to focus your hand mudras. You have somewhere to focus your yoga postures that we're talking about, or the energy healing. Like let's focus on what needs healing right now. And Liz, through a chakra reading, highly recommend it. And then she'll be doing the Reiki healing on top of that too, right, Liz? Or only if someone asks for Reiki. Yeah. So.
Yeah, if I do Reiki, I usually end up with a chakra reading. I can do just a chakra reading if that's what they want. So yeah. Whatever the client needs or wants.
Okay, I'm going to shamelessly plug Liz because she's the real deal. She is loving intent. I mean, someone who's that intentional, you want to work with her. So I'm just giving her that. I don't get paid to do that. Not yet anyway. No, I do. I do get paid. But, you know what I'm saying? I know what you're saying. Truth is here. I'm talking to everyone out there.
Oh.
All right, you guys. Thank you for joining us this is May 2019 High Vibe Tribe monthly book review. And I want you guys to check out the mindbodyspirit.com/lighthouse. What is it called? I don't know what the slash is, but just go to our Lighthouse store and you'll see our member curated books where you can buy the book from our website, which contributes to the Mind Body Spirit Network in a big way, because we get a little we send you to Amazon and then Amazon pays us a commission. So Amazon's got enough money. We'd love to have a little cut of the Amazon fortune to support what we're doing at the Mind Body Spirit Network. And you're also going to have the opportunity to see, we have a video book review with every single book. So you can have fun watching those and getting to know our little tribe here at the Mind Body Spirit Network. Liz, thank you.
Thank you.
Guys in June. Jeez. I know.
No, tap over. What's up?
Yeah. Woo. Bye.
All right. Bye.